Hi friends, welcome back to my channel Organized with Joy, and welcome back to Thoughtful Thursday. So before I get into it, I want to give a shout out to my friend Danielle over at Glamburger here on YouTube, because she reviewed this product. It was this Revlon brush dryer, and I ended up getting it, and it has been amazing. I did not style my hair. I just blow dried it with that brush dryer. So shout out to you, Danielle. Thank you. Go check out her channel, and I can link that in the description box below. So if you were with me last week, then you know that I talked about expectations. And so many of you commented talking about how you had such high expectations of yourself and how you were really hard on yourself when you didn't follow through on the expectations that you had of yourself. And I responded to those comments saying that I definitely could relate to that. And I think in the last video, I briefly mentioned at the beginning how I have really high expectations for myself, but not necessarily for other people. And so I definitely relate to this idea of having very high expectations for myself and getting frustrated when I don't meet those expectations. So this week, I wanted to talk to you about perfectionism, because I think that it stifles our creativity, and I think it causes us not to move forward in life or on projects or on things we want to get done. So this week on Instagram, I shared a quote by John Steinbeck that I really love, and I wanted to share it with you here in this YouTube video with regards to perfectionism. And it is, "And now that you don't have to be perfect, you can be good." And I have this motto for myself that I adopted several years ago, which was, "Good enough is good enough." Because I got tired of putting so much pressure on myself to make everything perfect. And I am not always good at reminding myself about good enough is good enough, but it is a phrase that I just have in the back of my mind for those times when my thoughts are spiraling and I'm really beating myself up because I'm not doing things the way that I want them to be done, or things aren't turning out the way that I wanted them to. And with regards to perfectionism, I did want to talk about how there's actually two different types of perfectionists. And you know, I'm not a psychologist, maybe there's more, but what I've seen in my own personal life and with the people around me is oftentimes you're either someone who works really, really hard to get everything to be perfect. And usually those people get burnt out and they're full of anxiety and fear. And the second type of people, I often think these are more laid back people. They're type B people. They are the type of people that decide they're just gonna throw their hands in the air and they're not even gonna try to make things perfect because they can't be perfect. But what I want to suggest to you is there is middle ground, that we can let go of this idea of perfectionism, that we can say to ourselves, good enough is good enough. We always just try our best. We don't have to expect everything to turn out perfectly. I do like to call myself a recovering perfectionist just because I know that this is something that I will always struggle with. And in my mind, I want things to be perfect, and it is just something that is a part of me. But I like to say recovering because I do want to tell myself when I'm in that mode of everything must be perfect, that it's okay that it's not perfect. Now, I do want to say that there's nothing wrong with striving for excellence. I think that that is an amazing thing to do. It's amazing to have that character trait that you want to work really hard and you want to do things right. I think that that is an amazing character trait. But the difference between striving for excellence and striving for perfectionism is that striving for excellence means that you have high work ethic, that you're trying to produce good work, you're trying to do the best you can. But what perfectionism does is it makes you feel never good enough. So today, I want you to believe that your good enough is good enough. One more thing I wanted to share to encourage you is if you have made a mistake in your past, whether it's big or small, I really encourage you to forgive yourself. It's the only way that you can move forward. I think a lot of times people who struggle with perfectionism also struggle with forgiving themselves for past mistakes. But I always remind myself that I can't get in a time machine and go back and make different choices. And all I can do is make positive and good choices moving forward. So I just keep reminding myself of that, and I forgive myself for the past mistakes I made and just move forward. I hope that this encouraged you in some way today, and I would love to hear from you down in the comments. Let me know what you think about this idea of perfectionism. Are you a perfectionist? Are you the type that just gives up because you can't make things perfect? Or are you the type that works really hard and sometimes gets to the point of burnout? And I would love to hear how perfectionism has impacted your life, whether that's something that you personally struggle with or if it's maybe one of your family members. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to watch this video today. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. And I would love for you to subscribe to my channel if you are not yet subscribed. Thanks, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.